Good afternoon, everybody. It's Mrs. Sharp here again. Today is a really special day as we start to welcome back all Fraserburgh Academy learners to school over the week. Today was the turn of second year, a third year group, some selected S4, 5 and 6th years, and of course our pupils on the senior phase rota and in the Learning Centre who will continue with us. A big welcome also to all staff, many of whom have not been in school either since December. We sincerely hope that this return will mean that us all coming back together on Monday the 19th of April will seem more of a reality. So the purpose of this assembly is to maintain contact with everyone in the Fraserburgh Academy community, to share important information about being in school, to hear some more words of encouragement from some of our partners, hear from the senior executive, and of course find out who is the worthy recipient of the Lighthouse Moment of the Week. So every week since December, I have revised the NHS guidelines for everyone. And in this slide, you can see them, I've included them again, but I want to focus today instead on our guidelines in school, which are in place to keep everyone safe and healthy. That's the reason we have them, to keep everyone safe and healthy. What we're asking you to do is for your own good and for the good of everyone else in school, your friends, teachers, and other members of your family. The one thing to remember is that if you or anyone else in your house has any of the following symptoms, please do not come to school. So if you or anyone else has a new continuous cough, a fever or a high temperature, the loss of or change in sense of smell or taste, please don't come to school. Instead, self-isolate at home and arrange a PCR test as soon as possible. If you have signed up for the lateral flow tests, please don't use these in place of a PCR test because they're not to be used if you have any symptoms. So don't do that. Arrange for a PCR test through the NHS 111 page. So in school, Mrs. Murray went over these this morning with the people who were in school. But first of all, number one, face coverings must be worn by all pupils and staff when in the building, unless you're exempt. If you do believe that you're exempt, you need to discuss this with your guidance teacher straight away, and we'll provide you with a lanyard to show everybody that you have an exemption. The second major thing to do is to keep 2 meters away from all staff and all other pupils. Sanitize your hands when you enter and leave the school building and when you enter or leave each classroom. When you go to the toilet, wash your hands thoroughly for at least 20 seconds. And if you're not sure which is your nearest toilet, ask your teacher if you're unsure. Just the same as we did before Christmas, when you're finished at the end of the day or the end of the period, clean your desk, your workstation or your equipment before you leave class. There's spray and wipes in every classroom. If you're going to cough, even if you're wearing a face covering, cough into a tissue or the crook of your elbow. And if you don't feel well during the day, if you felt fine when you first came in but just started to feel unwell, you must tell an adult straight away and we'll make arrangements. So, coming to school. If you come to school by school bus, school transport, make the most of the lovely spring sunshine we've been experiencing and use the time before the school first bell rings at 8:35 to catch up with your friends outside. If the weather's not good, you can come into the school, but you must go to the assembly hall and the crush hall, keeping a 2-meter distance from others. And then when the hurry bell rings at 8:35, make your way to your allocated classroom and you should be in classroom by the time the second bell rings at 8:40. Please don't go upstairs or to your classroom until the first bell rings at 8:35. For people who don't travel on school transport, you need to come into time for the 8:45 hurry bell and go directly to your classroom. And you should be there, 8:45 bell, and you should be there by the 8:50 bell. If you're dropped off by car, Please remind your parents and carers not to take you up the drive or arrange to pick you up on the drive. You're dropped off either in Denny Duff Road and you walk up the drive, or you're dropped off in Alexandra Terrace and you walk down from there. Parent and carer cars are not permitted on the drive. There will be a staggered release at the end of the session, so if you're in an even numbered classroom, you leave at 12:25, and if you're in an odd numbered classroom, you leave at 12:30. If you arrive late, that means after 8:50, after 10 to 9 in the morning, and you find that the pupil door is locked, which it will be, you need to go in through the main entrance and explain why you're late. So, catering. For the vast majority of people who are not in the Learning Centre or in the Senior Phase Practical Rota, your morning break will take place in your classroom between 11 and 11:20. For the people in the Senior Phase Practical Rota, your break stays the same at 10:30, and for the people in the Learning Centre, your break stays the same at 11:30. For the people who are coming in, the Phase 2 return people, you have two options for break. You can bring your own snack and drink, or you can order a snack and drink from the canteen using the Fusion app. There's details about the Fusion app sent to your parents this week and also last week, and there is on the school website as well. The usual arrangements apply for the people on the Senior Phase Practical Rota and the Learning Centre for breaks and lunchtimes. And you know that if you're coming in as part of the Phase 2 return, your school day ends at 12:30. So the current situation, you'll have heard this word blended learning, and this is what we're doing until Easter. This is when your learning occurs in a blend of different ways. In this instance, two different ways: face-to-face learning in school and online learning. Many of you have done very well over the last 10 weeks with remote learning, keeping to your timetable and engaging with your teachers online. The way in which your remote learning is being delivered will change this week. This is because your teachers are all back in school, spending a lot of their time teaching classes, so they can't lead live sessions. We need more teachers in school just now, as our classes are much smaller due to having to keep to 2-metre distancing. So here is a new way of working remotely at home. When you're not in school, you need to go online as usual, and every week you will receive work for the subjects you're not doing while you're in the school. This work will be posted at the beginning of the week by your teachers. This will give you the opportunity to plan your online learning for the days you're not in school. I really recommend that you keep to a routine on the days you're not in school and work out a simple timetable for these days, just to keep you on track. So, the other thing to remember is when we come back to school, we need to remember the Fraserburgh way. Remember, ready, respectful and safe. Back in August, and then again in January, we looked at what ready, respectful and safe mean in different learning situations, like learning at home. Now we need to look at how these three words can be applied to blended learning. What would being ready mean? Well, it means bringing your own equipment, being ready to get back into learning at school, ready to take part in what your class are doing, ready to get a routine going at home to meet deadlines, being ready for learning by having your school uniform on, for example. What would respectful mean? Well, first of all, and most importantly, respecting others' space by observing a 2-metre distance from them. Respecting the health and safety of others by always wearing your face covering. Respecting that others might not be feeling the same way as you are coming back to school. And what would safe look like? Well, I think that's pretty obvious. Sanitising your hands regularly, wearing your face covering, keeping your distance. These are three words which fit every situation and are especially important just now. Remember that ready, respectful and safe are not just a reminder about how you should be in school, but they're also a reminder to others of how they should be treating you. That's the beauty of the three words. They can be adapted for any situation. You'll remember for the last 3 weeks we've had 2 visitors speak to us in school. Well, I've got another two visitors, another two guests to speak to you today. This is how important and how valued you are by the local community, in that people want to help, they want to give you a message. So today we're going to hear from Heather Zaka, who is the Foundation Apprenticeship Programme Officer at Nescol, and then we're going to hear from Sandra Stephen, who works with SBP accountants, and they've both got very important messages for you.
Hi, my name's Heather Zaka and I work for North East Scotland College. I'm a Foundation Apprenticeship Programme Officer at the college, and part of my role is I work with young people, schools across the North East, employers across the North East of Scotland and Skills Development Scotland. Just a quick message to tell you, well done. You're doing really well. You're doing better than you think you're doing. And these are very difficult times for everyone, especially if you're trying to study. My advice to you, keep going. Try to keep focus. Look to your long-term goals and do a little bit of work and often, rather than trying to do a whole lot at once, little and often, and you'll achieve all your goals. These trying times that are so difficult for everyone, you'll be the generation that will be able to say, when everyone looks back, we had to do it. We had to do it in a different way, in very difficult circumstances, and we still achieved. So keep going, keep working, keep focused. Please don't judge yourself against others, and you're doing really well. Everyone's really proud of you and everyone's very impressed. The skills that you're learning now to work in adverse conditions against all the odds and achieve in will really do you well in the future. So well done. If you need to talk to people, then please do. Reach out to your teachers, your parents, your friends. Support is there, help is there. Don't be afraid to talk. But above all, I just wanted to say well done. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you soon in the college. Bye.
Hello, boys and girls. I applaud you. You have been amazing through this pandemic. Undoubtedly, you miss your friends, but you know what? You have learned skills that cannot be taught in a class. You have taken responsibility to ensuring that your homework is done and completed and returned within the timescales given. That is all necessary skills for your business and your development going forward. I encourage you to retain and keep up your standards, because in years to come you will be able to tell your children about this new skill that you learned that one cannot learn in the classroom. You have something that we never had the opportunity to do, and I think you're amazing. Keep going, use it in the future and set your own goals. All the best for your future. Sandra Stephen, SBP Accountants.
So we're very grateful to Heather and to Sandra for giving these messages. People in the community really want you to do well, and they want to support you. So please, please listen to their message, because they know what they're speaking about. So on to the Lighthouse moment of the week. No, it's not. It's on to the senior executive. So we have a slide here from Isla, who's going to give you more information again about the challenge that she introduced last week. So over to Isla.
Hey guys, it's Isla here, and this week's challenge is an art challenge. So you can create anything that is related to your house, so you pretty much got free reign on what you're wanting. I've put a few examples, so like painting or drawing, or we saw a few comics being made the last few weeks for the Lighthouse moment. You could do something like that, or model the clay or Play-Doh, or just anything that you can think of. maybe using stuff that you've found outside, but it has to be related to your house. So if you submit your creations to your registration or PSC teams by the 12th of March, so you've got almost 2 weeks to do it, and mine at this house points up for grabs, and we'll have a lookie and pick out the best thing for the winner. So good luck, guys.
Thank you very much to Isla. So, Lighthouse moment of the week. Super work again this week from Andy Watt. This time, Andy, your work was in PE. Andy's in 1M2. And your video, we all enjoyed watching your video, showed how you collected all the components for the bingo challenge that you were set. Well done again to Emily Reid, 1D1, for your Snakes and Ladders game, also in PE. And also in PE, we saw great socially distanced hip-hop dancing from Diana Simpson and Paris Ward in 3rd year. But the Lighthouse moment of the week goes to Caitlin Bruce, 5C2, for your outstanding performance, Caitlin, in Higher Music. It was a performance of a Billie Eilish song. So very, very well done, Caitlin. And so to finish, as usual, have a great week. Remember to register every morning on your registration teams when you're not in school, and work through the assignments posted by your teachers at the start of the week. And don't forget the Fraserburgh way. And in all you do, be ready, respectful and safe. Thank you for listening.